Hello and welcome back to our series of short videos, How to Do It Right, the SAP S/4HANA Project Handbook. This series is based on our book publication. We share practical experience and proven methods for successful SAP S/4HANA projects. Our goal is simple: take away the fear and bring clarity to you. My name is Lucas Roers, and this is the RT episode. Today we talk about basics with real thrill, SAP-Project Organization and SAP-Roll-In, Rollout Organization. The biggest pain in most SAP programs, project organizations that became too large, too political, too costly, and too slow. In the upcoming videos, we will address topics like go-live and post-go-live topics, but also lifecycle management and decommissioning. In the previous parts, we discussed already implementation strategy, transition approaches, consulting models, SAP RISE and other operating models, project kickstart, and the operational leftovers that quietly destroy budgets later. Today, we focus on something much more basic and at the same time, much more dangerous than most organizations expect. And one of the biggest pains in the SAP project organization, and especially how to organize large SAP roll-ins and rollouts properly. Because many SAP programs do not become slow because technology is difficult. They become slow because the organization itself becomes unmanageable. The first important point is this: a project organization and a rollout organization are not the same thing. Many companies mix both together. That creates confusion very quickly. A classic project organization is usually built to design, build, integrate, test, and deliver a target solution. A roll-in or rollout organization is different. Its job is standardization, scaling, local adaptation, deployment governance, knowledge transfer, training, cutover coordination, and operational stabilization across multiple entities or countries. And this changes the entire operating logic because rollout programs are usually not innovation programs anymore. They are replication and governance programs. Now let us talk about the classic SAP problem. The organization grows too much. More work streams, more coordinators, more PMO layers, more architecture boards, more steering committees, more external providers, more reporting lines, more alignment meetings. And eventually, nobody can make decisions anymore without 3 workshops and 4 approvals. This is not theoretical. We see the same pattern in the projects. Large SAP organizations often become politically overloaded and operationally slow, especially in multinational rollout programs, because every country suddenly wants its own exception, its own process, its own reporting logic, its own interfaces, and its own historical special case preserved forever. Historically, SAP methodology itself contributed to this development. Large templates, large governance structures, heavy documentation layers, large implementation partners, massive process hierarchies. Yeah, and to be fair, partly for good reasons. Older ERP programs were technically monolithic, highly integrated, and operationally critical. But today, the environment changed. AI tools appear faster, business models change faster, cloud dependencies increase, SaaS fragmentation increases, users expect faster delivery cycles. And many organizations now realize the old mega program bureaucracy no longer scales well in modern environments. The more modern approach increasingly moves into another direction. Not larger organizations, smaller ones, fewer people, but stronger people. Many large SAP programs become inefficient surprisingly fast, once too many layers appear between decision makers and operational teams. Then the project slowly starts running through workshops instead of decisions. This is where the lighthouse model becomes interesting. A smaller core team built around very experienced people often performs significantly better than massive consultant structures filled with interchangeable resources. And this is not only about technical SAP expertise. The strongest people in these programs usually combine several things at once: process understanding, operational experience, communication skills, leadership, escalation handling, and the ability to stabilize difficult situations under pressure. Many experienced transformation programs increasingly rely on exactly these types of individuals: strong architects, integration leads, deployment managers, data leads, or business process owners who can guide entire streams without creating organizational overhead everywhere. There is another uncomfortable topic in many SRP projects. The business often does not provide its strongest people to the project. Instead, companies sometimes protect daily operations by keeping their best operational experts in the line organization and sending leftover capacity, new hires, or people without enough authority into the transformation program. That creates problems very quickly, because SAP transformations are not mainly technology projects, they are operational redesign programs. And without strong business ownership, external consultants start making too many business decisions indirectly. At the same time, there is also a real operational challenge. You cannot completely remove your best operational people from the business for multiple years without damaging day-to-day operations. This is why many successful programs try to reduce the permanent project involvement of key business experts to the truly critical phases: design decisions, testing, process validation, deployment preparation, and stabilization. The rest should be handled through smaller, highly capable teams instead of endless meeting structures. This also changes the consulting model itself. Many organizations still assume that large SAP programs automatically require very large external staffing structures. But current market experience increasingly points into another direction. It is often smarter to hire or build strong internal key people and retain them after the project, instead of depending permanently on large external delivery structures. Especially in critical areas like architecture, integration, data governance, security, and rollout coordination, long-term internal ownership creates significantly more stability later. Their external consultants still matter enormously, but usually in a more selective role. Few people, highly experienced, operationally strong, and capable of stabilizing complex situations quickly. The problem with very large generic staffing models is not only cost, it is dilution of ownership and decision quality. And this becomes especially visible in difficult rollout situations where speed and judgment matter much more than slide production. Of course, smaller organizations also create risks. Too much dependency on individuals, burnout risks, knowledge concentration, operational overload, missing backup structures. So the answer is not small at all cost. The answer is small enough to stay fast, but structured enough to remain stable. This balance matters enormously. Now let us specifically discuss roll-ins and rollouts. This is where many SAP organizations become operationally exhausted. Because rollout programs are politically difficult, headquarters versus local entities, global standards versus local laws, central governance versus local operational realities. And the dangerous mistake is this: many companies try to restart the design discussion in every rollout country. That destroys speed immediately. The more successful rollout programs usually follow a different model: strong global template governance, limited local deviations, centralized architecture ownership, reusable deployment methods, and highly standardized rollout mechanics. Research across ERP transformations repeatedly shows that standardization and governance discipline are among the strongest predictors for scalable rollout success. This is also where product ownership becomes critical again. Because someone must ultimately decide what is globally standardized, what may differ locally, what enters the template, what stays outside, what becomes technical debt. Without strong ownership, rollout organizations drift into endless negotiation structures. And then the rollout slows down country by country. AI will also change SAP project organizations significantly. Not because AI replaces transformation leadership, but because AI increasingly automates documentation, testing support, code analysis, migration preparation, process analysis, and reporting activities. That means future SAP organizations may become structurally smaller, but the remaining people will need higher quality, better judgment, stronger communication, faster decision-making, and stronger architectural understanding. And this creates another uncomfortable reality. Some traditional large-scale staffing models may become economically difficult to justify in the future. So what usually goes wrong? Organizations become too political, too layered, too consultant-heavy, too slow, and too disconnected from operational ownership. Decision paths become unclear. Nobody wants responsibility. Escalations multiply. The template weakens. Local exceptions grow continuously. And eventually the rollout factory stops scaling. This is one of the most common patterns visible across struggling global SAP programs. Again, also here my conclusion is simple. Good SAP organizations are usually not the largest ones. They are the clearest ones. Clear ownership, fast decisions, small effective teams, strong business participation, and a limited number of highly capable people who can stabilize complexity instead of administrating it. Modern SAP programs increasingly depend less on organizational size and much more on the quality of the people inside the critical roles. And once the organization itself becomes too slow, even good technology cannot compensate anymore. Short pause. Thank you for your interest. Hope to see you soon. Please do not miss the next part of our journey to smart SAP projects. Part 9. Go live, change management, transition into line organization. Part 10. Post-go live, the value case, lifecycle management and road mapping, including continuous improvement. Part 11. Final conclusions. And this is all to help you to win the race. And this all is to the unsung heroes of transformation, project leaders who have navigated the stormy seas of deadlines, scope changes, and midnight deployments with unwavering resolve. Thank you for your interest. Goodbye. Lukas Röhrs. And if you can't wait until the next episode starts and you'd like to find out more about how to make sure your SAP project is on the right track, have a look at our great new book. It is available on Amazon.com. Now,